Do you want to talk a little bit about what you're doing for 250 and how it's coming? And Penny, do you need more background? What would be best to use your time?
My time?
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm good. I just like to hear whatever other people are planning and how they're planning it. Is it a continual exhibit of some sort, or a regular series of activities, or is it a one and done, or is it connected to a trail of others? You know, exactly
Oh,
how.
Penny, it's all of the above.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She's got it. It's what, yeah.
Yeah, I can lead into that, Karen.
Please go ahead.
Sure. Just what Penny was suggesting there, uh, we've been talking in our township. Number one is getting together with other organizations in the township, like St. John's Church and the Friends of Hibernia, because they've got a different take on
Right.
the revolution. You know, especially with those two areas. And what we are also talking about doing is having like history talks
Great.
monthly during that year.
Mhm.
The latest suggestion from one of our members was to set up a kiosk in the Layton Park on the walking trail, talking about different significant historic places in the township, and that way they can just stay there, you know, for perpetuity afterwards. And it's a nice, you know, educational piece that developed from our 250 celebration.
So, Steve, what park are you all talking about for that possible kiosk?
That's Layton Park.
Interesting. I hadn't thought of that. All right.
Yeah, that's the township park, and you know, it has a walking path on it now.
Okay.
That's, and so if we could set up these kiosks as you're walking around the path, that would have laminated maps and stories, short stories, which we already have a nice synopsis of historic pieces on the website on a link
Right.
of the history, and we could, you know, put them on there on these kiosks as people would walk around, and, you know, remind them of the history that has taken place and is still taking place in West Callan Township.
Can I ask you about a definition, Steve? When you say kiosks, are you actually meaning like the things that you touch when you go into a Wawa that switch around electronically, or are you meaning more like interpretive signage that is really interesting but is static?
It'd be static.
Okay.
We don't have the budget to do any of the electronic, but, you know, to put a post up and then laminated.
So yeah, interpretive signage, I would call that actually.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
definitely.
Okay.
And that way, you know, we can update it as we need to. Uh, I know it'd be really nice to do electronic, but that's just out of our budget.
Yeah, no, I can talk about another project we're trying to work on. I'll put it off to the side though. And Elizabeth Dean, thanks for joining us. We have a small group, so we're just being real straightforward.
But I think one thing
Oh, hey, Angela.
this is Angela, as I'm masquerading as Karen Simmons the second.
Yeah, guess what? Beth's going to change that.
So I think that what you're talking about is so on point, because we're talking about using this event to collaborate with each other, and also as to re-engage our communities in civics and our history, our shared history, and also to have things sort of a legacy. So 2026 isn't the end, it's the beginning.
Very much so. Yes. So it's a great way to just keep it going.
Yeah.
So
Thank
we
you.
have
One last item I think is we really hope that on the 4th of July, we can have a nice celebration at the park. We're even talking about hoping to engage with the local areas that do fireworks, um, coordinating with them so that at the end of the evening on that day, we can enjoy the fireworks. But during the day, talking about maybe getting the school children involved with reading the Declaration of Independence.
Yahoo. Good. Good,
Yeah,
good, good.
again, just trying to get other people involved with in the community so it becomes collaborative.
Beautiful, beautiful. And just so you know, Emily is taking notes and we're putting everything on the whiteboard after so we can keep sharing the information. So the more you talk, the better.
So it's Layton Park, correct?
Right. In East Cal. That's
Mhm.
terrific. And I don't know if to put in a plug, but you may want to talk to Leslie Bernick, who just zoomed in. She's got some music. Leslie, you want to talk about what you are doing? And I don't know, Steve, if you know of Chester County. Go ahead, Leslie. I'll let you talk.
Yeah, the Chester County Concert Band. We are in our 43rd year, I believe. And we would very much like to be a part of lots of the patriotic celebrations and everything going on, not only in 2026, but 2025 and beyond. We have been performing almost every summer on the 4th of July at Wilson Farm Park. It's a huge concert. Usually we have a 2-hour concert followed by fireworks. And it's pretty exciting because it ends with the band is playing Stars and Stripes Forever, and then the fireworks begin, about halfway through that. So it's quite exciting and moving. And of course, again, we would love to be involved in perhaps offering some background music for reading the Declaration or any of those kind of events that may happen on that day or surrounding it. So, and just as a point of information, we're having our fall concert on Sunday, November 3rd at Fugate Middle School. And that's at 2:30. And it's going to be celebrating film music throughout the years. And it's called Cinema Paradiso. And so it's going to be all kinds of different music, starting back in the music of the silent films. And the of course, Chester County 250 was the beneficiary of our raffle. Let's see, was that just our concert last spring? I think
It was.
yeah. So this time, in keeping with our theme, the Westchester Film Festival will be receiving half of our 50/50 raffle money. So we try to do whatever we can to support other nonprofits in the area. So anyway, you can find out more information. I'll put our link, our website in the chat, so you can just check that out too.
Thank you, thank you.
And you're a partner on our website as well, and we can always hook up resources.
Great.
So we have also been joined by Elizabeth Dean and Bernard Greenberg and David Blackburn. David, I know you're listening in from the Planning Commission, and I'm wondering actually, Mr. Greenberg and Ms. Dean, could you introduce yourselves, tell us where you're from? And
Sure, let me get my, let's see. Can you hear me?
we can hear you,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay.
What part of the county
So
are you
I'm
from?
representing the Millet and Selma.
Oh, very good.
Oh,
And I
good.
think that the importance, as they said, we're not just working working for the 250th anniversary, but also beyond. So it's giving us an opportunity to look at ways we can improve the mill itself. Many things have happened over the last few years, and we need to consolidate and improve some of the aspects for the visitors. We've also decided to recruit new volunteers. This has been a good occasion for us to do that, and we're having a special volunteers meeting in January. We have a beautiful colonial style oven for baking bread, and what we really would like to do is have volunteers bake bread every weekend, and so we need new people to do that. We're also making up new signs pertaining to our painting to what the mill looked like during the revolutionary times, and that will be one of our major focuses, is what the mill looked like in 1776. A lot of people are excited about it, and it's nice to see that the present volunteers are very excited about 250th anniversary and how we can make our mill a stellar attraction. So that's where we stand right now.
And thank you to the mill. We were there a couple weeks ago for your cider fest and handed out so
that's right.
much
You were
250.
there.
Yeah. We handed out our 250
That was and we were pleased that we had considering the fact that we had poor weather.
It was rainy.
We had a darn good turnout. So that was a nice start for the 250.
Yeah, thanks for letting us. We've been going around to festivals this fall, passing out all kinds of things, and getting people more ready. And really, when there's vendor tables, to go around to the various vendor tables and let people know what's coming up and give them 250 material. So it's been really handy. So thank you, Bernie.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Elizabeth, you're at West Goshen, right? Would you be able to share a bit about what's going on in West Goshen, Ms. Dean? I'm not sure if you can hear me. We'll go on to Sue.
I'm on
There
mute.
you
Sorry.
are.
Yes, in 2017, East Goshen and West Goshen cooperated together because in 1817 we were Goshenville. And
Yeah.
in that year we separated out into the two different townships. And we did a cooperative in the East Goshen Park. It was wonderful. It was a great day for the community. It was wonderful. So again, we're going to repeat that because in 1777, we were Goshenville.
Right.
So both boards of directors, both boards of supervisors have agreed and passed that we will once again co-op our event together. So we have a first meeting set with East Goshen right after the first of the year to start planning.
That was terrific. Good.
Yeah, and the other one was such a success. We probably will, from the 2017 event, we probably will just do a repeat with additions in it. But I told them that we had to start choosing. We're supposed to be getting a date, correct? At this point, do we need to put forward a date we would like to?
You can do whatever you want to do. And when you let us know about it, we will promote it and keep sharing it throughout the land.
Yeah, so I'll try to get that nailed down soon. Also, I'd like to invite you guys to, we just formalized last night on December the 12th, we're going to have, as part of our speaker series, two reenactors. It'll be Jefferson, who we've had previously, and Adams to do a debate at West Goshen Township. So I'll make sure to notify you when that's coming off.
Yeah. Do you think you'll do evites and social media that we can pass on?
Yes, that would be perfect. Yes.
Yeah.
Do I send it to Dina?
You can send it to Emily.
Emily, that's what I mean. Emily.
Emily Dina, you got it right. Or just the info that's on your screen too. Which, there's a cc250@chescocf.org. Or Emily, are you here? Oh, she must be eating lunch because she put my picture up, which is yeah. So yeah, she is here, but
Okay, send it
yeah.
to Emily Dina. I'll make sure that's done.
Yeah, that'd be great. Social media and evites help because then we can spread it out. And Leslie, I don't know that we have something about your concert coming up on the 3rd. So can you make sure we've gotten some social media squares or something on that?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'll have Emily go to your social media.
Okay, I put the information just on the chat here, but
Okay.
yeah, it's certainly on our Facebook page and stuff.
2.37.
Okay. Emily will do some research, and
Okay,
Mark Slough, we hear you talking, so Beth Kralis is going to turn you
Okay.
off.
Or she can reach out to me and I'll get that for
Yeah,
her.
she's
Yeah,
back now.
anyone who wants their events promoted, there are certain categories we need filled out. And if you want to fill it out yourself on the calendar, you're welcome to. If you want to send it to us, we can promote it for you, but there are certain areas we need and we can help you if you don't have them to let you know what they are.
Okay,
Arts
that's
Culture
great.
250. Just
Yeah.
click the 250 button and it'll show up on the the Convention and Visitors Bureau plus ours. It's the same one.
Okay, great.
If you hit 250, we'll get it. Arts, Culture, History, Heritage, even better. Good, good. So Kathleen and Sue Silver, would you be able to talk a little bit? Oh, Sue, are you from Westchester or Chad's Ford or both?
I'm from West Pikeman Township.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was okay.
Okay.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank
Do you have things you know you're doing or you're thinking about for 250? We're just kind of sharing notes rather than going through the PowerPoint.
Sure.
Yeah, what are you thinking?
So West Pikeland Township is like right in the middle, the township building is right in the middle of the historic Yellow Springs,
Right.
right?
I was
Historic-
there last weekend. What an incredible festival. Were you there?
I was there as participant. We did not have a table set up.
I was the one in the reenactor outfit strolling, throwing things at everybody. And then when they did the pumpkin race down the hill,
Oh, yeah. That
oh
was
my
good.
God, little pumpkins on wheels and running down the hill. I mean, oh my gosh, you had to have a couple thousand people there that afternoon.
Yes, it was packed. It was a beautiful day for it too. So
Yeah.
that really helped. So because Historic Yellow Springs already has so many annual events that are happening, we decided that the best approach for West Pikeland Township was to collaborate and align with activities that they have already scheduled on their calendar.
Yeah.
And tack on some additional, maybe some historical educational programs. The person who is the executive director at Historic Yellow Springs, his name is Tim Compton.
He's
You might-
great. He's really
right?
great.
So he has
Wait,
already.
is that him here? I thought Tim was here saying that. Oh, he is great. Sorry.
So he's already contacted Chester Springs Library to set up speaker series. He's been in touch with some of the local businesses to engage them either through sponsorship or doing additional events.
Yeah.
He's already contacted the SALT director. Her name is Lauren. I don't know her last name, to see if they could put on some kind of historical play next year.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of right now conversations happening. We're getting close to starting to build out the calendar of events, so to speak.
Mhm.
There's a car dealership on Route 113. So I approached him to see if he would be willing to put on like an antique car show or
Nice.
just engage in the community that way. There's also, we were thinking of, we want to have like a really like old fashioned parade through town.
Mhm.
So how do we tack that on to maybe one of their summer festivals that they're already planning?
Right.
We want to do concerts, summer concerts at the Historic Yellow Springs, a balloon fest. So if Yellow Springs, with all that land that they have, we use that as home base and build out from there.
Mhm. You know, so when I was talking with Tim, amazed last Sunday about how many people had turned out, he just gushed so much about how it was incredible to have the partnership with West Pikeland Township this year, because
Mhm.
that makes such a difference to bring all the partners together to put this stuff on, rather than the days they were trying to do it sort of in isolation. So
Right.
the partnership just makes for an incredible difference, I think, in the number of like tables and vendors and resources that turned out, the number of people who turned out, the variety of activities at the different table. It was just incredible. But it's the partnership, it's the not doing it alone, most definitely. Huge
Right.
difference. And yeah, you should be, that's a great example.
And I don't know if you saw the haunted house.
Oh, I did. I wouldn't go in.
Well, so what they did is they, if you've ever been to the art show, there's
Yeah.
a lot of individual rooms. So they had this black curtain, you went to one room and it was skeletons set up as if it was in the colonial era with, a skeleton, because there was the hospital at the time.
Right.
So it was a hospital scene, and then you go to the next room, and it's the next evolution of how that property was used. So I went to the children's orphanage, and then I went to, they had a huge room because it was used as a production studio for The Blob, that famous movie, right?
That's right.
So that was a very unique way to visually demonstrate the history of that property over the last 200 years.
It was
So-
great. And there were so many people trying to get through that I felt like I shouldn't go through with my taking up the big costume. So it was great. People thoroughly enjoyed it. And it
Mhm.
was a terrific way to take your theme and your mission and work it through and
Mhm.
display it in a different way that people learn and enjoy. So incredible. You stuck to the mission and the theme beautifully to interpret all kinds of things.
Yeah, thank you. And we do want to put on some kind of play with salt where we bring in historical figures. So somebody just mentioned, well, we had Jefferson there, we had Adams there. So if I could get those names of those people and their contact information, so we could reach out to them as well.
Yeah, we actually on the website for 250 have some reenactors listed, and we're going to put we're bringing that even more comprehensive. So we have a few reenactors up there and more to come.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad I
Anybody who
mentioned
wants
that.
to send us names of reenactors and resources like that, we'll keep an ongoing public list that's out there. We add to it every day, right?
Perfect. There's this woman on our task force, and she's is close friends with another woman who lives in West Pikeland, but she is a reenactor at Williamsburg. So she spends her time between Williamsburg and back here in Chester County. So she's another good name to maybe add to the list. I'll ask her if she's interested in having her name added.
Just send us an email, or she can just send it herself. Just hook in and say, list me. That would be terrific.
Mhm.
Yeah, very good. Oh, I'm glad. This is great. All right. Kathleen Massey, are you able to tell us what you're thinking of doing?
I'm working with Bonnie. I'm in the West Goshen. I'm from West Goshen Township.
Ah, so you're the east
So-
and the west.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Got it. Got it. I'm glad. It'll make sense. And wait, you said Bonnie, but it says Elizabeth.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Thank
We're
you,
the
Bonnie,
same.
Elizabeth, Bonnie. Now I know.
I hide behind Elizabeth. If you know me, it's Bonnie.
Okay. Fooled me. Thank you very much. I'm glad you're all working together. It'll be incredible. And as I said, as we're more than Angela and I and Beth and the staff are more than eager to come out and help with any of the planning if you should want somebody, but y'all are doing a great job getting groups together. So you're taking it and running it with it. And Penny, you asked whether people were doing things individually on their own in themes, and I think you heard yes, right?
This is fabulous. I've gotten a number of ideas I've written down already, so it's great.
Good, 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 good. And Emily sent out the PowerPoint ahead of time, and it's got ideas in it as well. I don't know that we need to go through it because it sounds like you know what's going on. On the web page, we have the whiteboard. Have people found it, or do you want us to show it to you?
Could you show it to us? Because I had a question about it.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I would like to share it with East Goshen, who have
Yeah.
attended this meeting, so I want to make sure it's shareable.
Yeah. Beth K, do you want to deal with that? Beth K is so much better than I am at that. Are you still here, Beth Kralis?
Yeah, I'm right here. I was on mute.
Yep, yep. Can you bring up the website and let's actually navigate it or so? And on the website for Chester County 250, under, I think it's the resources page. Yeah. So can you all see the website that Beth just brought up?
Yep.
And then is it the resources page, Beth?
Mhm.
Yeah. Then you click on the blackboard or the whiteboard, I'm sorry. And then you can just type your stuff on there. And when we see it, if it's a little off kilter, we just kind of organize it a little bit more. And And these are just planning ideas. We just put the name, date, the organization, if you want to attribute to it. And then there's just ideas going on.
And it's under bulletin board?
It's under resources. Beth, go back slower. You hit it way too fast for somebody like me. So you're on the home page.
Yep.
You see across the top where it says resources there? You see where Beth is pointing there?
There's a menu up here. You're gonna wanna click to the resources page.
And then you see that thing there that looks like a bulletin board? Show the graphic first, Beth, to make it stick out.
Well, this is highlighted gray. It's the first thing you see, and then.
But
there's
I see the graphic
it
board
goes to the
there.
Same place.
And so you click on those and that goes right to the bulletin board.
Perfect. Yep.
And you can just type right at the beginning. I don't care where you type, beginning or end, it doesn't really matter. And we just look at it and clean it up a little bit. So these are meant to be ideas. And then when it turns into programs, Beth, can you go back and we'll show folks, when it turns into programs you want to have listed, this is where you can just go down to the programs and events. And then it says, see where it says click here to add your programs for instructions? What do you get, Beth, when you click there?
That's the document I put in the chat. So this is gonna give you instructions to have your event added to this calendar here.
And what if I'm really bad at following instructions, Beth?
At the end, it says if you prefer, you can just send to this email address these specific criteria and we can add it for you.
So just what the event is, if it costs anything, give a description, where it is, who's hosting it, start and end time, and any photos you want.
Mhm.
So if you want help with the social media part and the part, just send it to us either that email or directly to emily@chescocf.org. Emily,
Right.
you're famous.
For
Yeah.
the social media content that is going up on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, this calendar is the first place we look when we're planning for the next month. So it's a great way to get your content. It's not the only way, but it's a great way to get your content on this page of the website and then get it on CC250's social media.
The other thing is on the home page of the website, Emily and Beth pick off a couple events, couple few. Yeah, and then put them in the middle. So if people tap at the first, so this is all coming from that same partner program.
So
And
like our event for our speaker series with the debate might end up showing up here.
especially if you call Emily and say, hey, I'd like to see it there.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, we don't mind you calling and saying, wait a second, can you help us co-promote this? Because our want is to make sure everybody knows what's going on.
Yeah.
So ending up there, plus on our social media feed, is it at the top or the bottom, Beth Kay?
You can link to it from the top.
So yeah, if you just hit the buttons and join in on social media, and what do they have to do to get us to be seeing their events better too, Beth?
You can tag us in them. So we'll get a notification when your events are happening. If that's what you mean, Karen.
Yeah, or if they
Yeah.
post something, and yeah, we just want to make sure that we're sharing back and forth.
Yeah, we'll get a notification if you tag us. These are our handles in the URL. So tag us on Facebook, you can tag us on Instagram, or you can tag us on LinkedIn. It's like @Chesco250. And then we're happy to share on our feeds with our followers what you have happening.
So,
Got it, Leslie. Yep.
so I'm just noticing that little blip about Emma Hunter. So something like that to build out the history and the people who made an impact on our different websites would be great to do if we could, learn that history within our own individual townships.
Yeah. Yeah, we try to highlight what we know is going on. So more you can join and like and send things back and forth to us. So you're right. We see the Emma Hunter, and that actually, I think isn't that something, the Emma Hunter one, that came from here, right? We designed that one? I forgot.
Yes, our very qualified intern Tyler created that content off some like history compilations that we had, or he did some research to find that.
Right.
So
Wow.
anything you have, we want to highlight. We put out a few a week just on our own with what we have at hand. But the more you can send us or link to us or alert us to, the more we can design and send out as well.
And also everything that we have created is shareable for your audiences. So, you know, if it's a lot of work to create content, definitely understand that. You can go into each post and share it as well.
Mhm.
And if you need help doing that, just call and Emily or Beth or Tyler will walk you through that.
So is anybody thinking of reaching out to their school district?
Yeah.
Okay, so Historic Yellow Springs has put together a full curriculum that they want to make available to the other townships that
Oh,
goes through different, different historical stories. So if interested, reach out to Tim Compton at Historic Yellow Springs, and he can.
we're going to do that right away. I'm glad you said something about that, Sue. He didn't tell me that one. That's terrific.
It might be just still in the process of being built out, but
That's great.
when he told me he's already taken on that task, I'm like, that's terrific.
Excellent. Yeah, that is terrific, is right. Good. We'll follow up. That is excellent news. So what else? Do you have enough ideas for today? Enough, here's what's on the whiteboard. Here's how you can get your stuff promoted. Here's how you can share. Any other questions, ideas for today?
Another thing that we're talking about in West Pikeland is to maybe engage the local high school students to help us with this.
Yeah.
It's to interview people who are residents of the township and have them tell their story. What do they
Okay.
love about living in this community? Just to make it more personal. Like, the historical stuff is great, but I think also present day, let's bring in some additional insight and perspectives as to why people love living where they're living.
Oh, this is good. Beth Kay, you're navigating again. Can you hit the share your story part? And Sue, as you work with the kids and everything, the more you can help feed us, or if you want to even just use, we have a share your story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's great. When I go around, here's some questions that we found. You can see them right on the page. But the more questions we get, the more interesting. And so you can even just download it just to cut and paste it.
You can download it here.
Okay.
Yeah.
You did have to work for me. Thank you.
Well, we wanted to put templates out there. And so we also have share your stories videos that we've been putting on social media. And that's what's interesting. Videos are the best way to do it, I think, with phones, but some people like to do it with a written message or a piece of artwork. So share your story, you can do whatever. And actually, when you hit our YouTube channel, Beth Kay, can you hit the YouTube channel?
That's not our YouTube.
Oh, well, yeah, that's the 4th of July explained by the bits. I mean, but on our YouTube channel, you can see some of the share your stories.
Okay.
Again, join the YouTube channel and so you can, it says share your story. You see a few of them. And Beth, can you lift it up a little? It's not coming, the share your story. Yeah. So these are some that we did a few months ago at Thornberry Farm when we got folks together for the 250 gathering. Oh yeah, there's Tim Compton there. Go down a little bit further. There you go. So here, let's listen to it. Can you hear the sound? I can't tell, Beth. It's not coming through here.
No, I didn't click on it.
Yeah, this is how they are so useful.
I think of our history a lot because I think art
Can you
is
hear that?
such a commentary on
Yep.
culture, and I find that that's an interesting way to kind of view the American story is through the arts, because whether it's the reactions of the movements preceding it or the way in which things move forward, when you see things like the way that Americans interpreted Impressionism as it came over from the French and how it took a distinctly American twist, I think that's what's unique about the American spirit, is that we somehow take these things that we assimilate from other cultures, twist them, turn them, and make them our own in a unique way. And so whether you're looking at the abolition of slavery and what that meant for individuals and how that interpreted in artworks, up through, like I was saying, the mundane stuff, just the way that we appreciate the landscape. Each time it's interesting to see how artists as individuals interpret the culture that's going on.
So as many share your stories as we can get out there, we'd love to help promote that. And everybody can share their story. And if people want to put the 250, what do you call that? An N banner on it.
Yeah, send it to
Congratulations.
us. We can
That's
add
easy.
it.
We'll add it, or just you can use the 250 Chesco logo on the materials because you're all promotional partners.
Yeah, there are instructions here to submit your story, but of course, contact us because sending video files can be challenging. So we'll help get it and get it up on the website too.
When you click there, what do you see, Beth?
It is a
Is that what you
Google,
just put? Oh yeah, it's the form, right?
it's a form. So you can upload your video here. Or
It's
if you
got to
want the
be no
story-
more than 10 megabytes.
Megabytes, yeah.
Megabytes. Okay,
Or-
so video, photos, and in writing.
You don't have to do all three, just do what makes the most sense for your story. And your video doesn't need to be highly produced like that one. It's great if someone's just standing in front of their phone and telling their story, in a few minutes or seconds even.
Yeah, about a minute is about the most for 10 megs. So people can do it on their phone and then just click the 250 Chester County website, share your story, and then they can just add their file and submit it, and then we can get it out there. We look at it first to make sure it's something that is definitely shareable.
Mhm.
And when the person shares it with us, they give us the permission to. So that's what it says at the bottom, that once you submit it, we have permission to share it on social media.
Great. Love
So
it.
yeah, please share your story. It's great. And it's just waiting there for kids in schools, people at festivals, seniors at community centers, people at the Y. We're going to be rolling around and sharing stories. So the more, the better.
Mhm.
And if you don't use our form, that's fine. But if you want to send it to us or just follow it on social media, that's great too. Whatever way works for you. That's what we're trying to help everybody do, whatever works for them.
Mhm. As we have these conversations with people in our community, it's surprising what you discover. So a
Yeah.
friend of mine, unbeknownst to me, I was talking to him about the work that I'm doing on this. And he says, oh yeah, I'm a descendant of Dr. Otto. Dr. Otto built the Revolutionary War Hospital in Yellow Springs.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
You're like, get my phone out. I want to tell the story again to me. I want
Right.
to videotape it.
Right. So he has all this information on his descendants and, down through his line, his family line. He lives in the house where General Wayne built, outside of Valley Forge. And this guy is such a historian. But, without me telling him about this task force work I'm doing, I never would have known all of this.
Right. And now we're going to get it out there to make history. Go
Yeah.
there.
And
Good.
that's such a cool story and we would love to share it, but not every story has to directly tie into the, revolutionary times to be shared. Like you can
Right.
share your story and you could be a recent immigrant or the first, you can imagine any circumstance. So like I had an intern who was a direct descendant of a signer of the Constitution. Like how cool is that? Or, but that's not everyone's story and we're
That's
still going
very
to share them.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah. So it's about the past and how it's impacting the present and propelling us to the future. So our roots in that sense, where we've come from and where we're headed.
Yep.
Great. Great.
I had a thought when somebody mentioned about seniors and stuff. I think, of course, oftentimes they are very interested in history. And I don't know if anybody has reached out like to the Westchester Senior Center and some of the other ones, they may be interested in telling their story or at least even finding out about all this stuff and perhaps getting involved. So
yeah, the senior centers and the retirement communities are so eager to share more stories. And the good thing is they already do it. So this just puts an overlay on the share your stories that are pretty popular at the senior centers. and get them to talk a little bit about liberty and justice or voting or, you know, people's rights and that sort of thing, or patriotism,
Right.
or, you know, fighting for freedom.
Yeah.
So put an overlay of liberty and justice for all on it and let freedom ring, and then share it now throughout not just 2026, but 27 and 28. We didn't march into Valley Forge until the winter of the 08, really the beginning. So this is the beginning. It goes on for a legacy.
Right.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah. So anything else for the good of the order today? I think you're doing a lot of great stuff, and I'm glad we're getting it out there and sharing. And Penny, if you have, you got, yeah, it's all of the above, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, if you want to go through the handout individually with me, stay on after and we'll go over it for 5 minutes if everybody wants the official handout. And Dan Campbell AIA is just connecting in now. That's good. But yeah, it's been a good discussion, and we're going to fill the whiteboard up with what you were talking about, and we'll send a summary of just this conversation to you all, to anybody who signed up for the day. And then it'll also end up on the whiteboard with all the whiteboard information. Dan Campbell, we were just kind of winding up, but if you want to tell us what's going on in your part of the county, if you don't mind us putting you on the spot.
I think it was the last meeting I reported that Westtown Township has had a sort of bi-monthly historic speech program recently, and we took this last Saturday to invite the public to learn about this Pennsylvania 250, Chester County, and the US.
How'd it go?
Well, unfortunately, only one person arrived. However,
Was it the right one?
she looked to be in her mid-30s, and one of our supervisors came later, so it was sort of a dry run practice with a limited audience.
You know, it's so busy right now with the election and the good weather. It's, yeah, there's so many things. I thought of you all as I was driving by on my way to another meeting, because it was Saturday morning, I thought.
Yes, it was.
10 o'clock Saturday morning, I remember. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't be discouraged. One
Okay.
person is better than none person, and it'll keep evolving, right?
We did brainstorm about some other ideas to put on our list, on our to-do list, including trying to involve other commissions in the township. We have an environmental commission and parks and public works and so on.
That's a great idea. When I was at Yellow Springs last weekend, just walking through, it was interesting that the Historic Commission folks knew what we were doing for 250, but I was talking separately with the Parks and Rec folks, and they were just drawn in, not knowing that it was going on. So yeah, reaching out to partners is going to be great.
Right.
Good, good, good.
So I think we're going to create a little task force within our township to manage this now, instead of just me coming to these meetings and reporting back to them.
It'll get rolling. I think after the election, Thanksgiving, Christmas, January, it'll roll, because all of a sudden people are like, oh my gosh, it's next year. Right
Yeah.
now, I have to say it's next year in a couple of months, but as soon as I say it's next year, people are like, why didn't you tell me sooner?
Right.
That's okay. Yeah.
Thank you. Good points.
Yeah, yeah, very good. So David, I see you've come out to your favorite background. Do you want to add anything before we take this home?
Yeah, this may not be anything new for some of you, but as the coordinator for the Town Tours and Village Walks program, I'll just emphasize that for 26 and 27, we'll be doing it and executing it thematically. So 27 will have a heavy emphasis on the Philadelphia campaign,
Right.
and 26 will have an emphasis on other stories more closely related to events other than what we'll be talking about the following year. We are looking to expand it with maybe some extra programs in the spring or the fall, and maybe working with organizations to add on other activities. I've already been asked if Malvern Borough could promote their Decoration Day / Memorial Day parade in May, which goes all the way back to 1868, and make it an official event of 2026. So my
Nice.
initial discussion was yes.
Yeah, yes,
Um,
yes, we can.
And then just for those of you this year, the theme I'm working on for 2025 is untold stories of Chester County, or also adding undertold stories. So looking at resources that have documentation of regular Chester Countians in their work and lives represented by historic resources, as well as revisit some places we haven't been to in quite a while. I'm working to coordinate a tour of the historic quad, for example, of Lincoln University, as well as the new park, Bondsville, that focuses on a new landscape with the backdrop of an old industrial site. So doing some direct recruiting now. For those that we don't directly recruit, we'll be getting out applications sometime either before the end of this calendar year or at the start of 2025.
Nice. So 2025 theme for Town Talks and Village Walks is untold stories or undertold stories. 2026 is Chester County heritage, not exactly related to the Philly campaign.
Yeah, we'll just say
So
America
iron and
250.
iron and steel and agricultural bounty, the things that forged, that made Pennsylvania so attractive and still do. Okay. And then 27 is Philly campaign and march in to Valley Forge.
And I'm happy to report too, I've been working on making connections with the 250 crew in Delaware, and they are very interested in what we're doing in 27. I made outreach to Maryland, but haven't heard back from them. But because of incursions with Crown forces in what's now Newcastle County, as well as the larger story, they want to see what we're doing as a commission and as a county, and B, want to explore opportunities that are feasible as well as appropriate of linking our two states for appropriate programs, or it could be just sharing information. So they want to talk, but they were in a flurry of grant writing in October. So we'll be reaching out to them at the end of this month or after the election.
Nice. Good, good, good. Thank you. Mr. Slough, you have something to add, I am pretty sure. You want to unmute yourself? Mark's on the 250 commission and is overseeing each of the heritage themes, drawing people together. I still see your little audio buttons on, Mark.
How's that?
That's better. Yep, go ahead.
So really, I'll just, Marie Forbes Gowan could not be here. She wanted to be here to update on the path to freedom. So I will. We actually had a Zoom meeting with the Kennet Township this morning relative to the Pines becoming the gateway center for the path to freedom. And obviously the township is very supportive of that cause. And the reason she couldn't be here is because we actually have a site meeting at 2:00 out there to start to look at the costing that's involved. We have a planning grant of 50,000 that's got to be completed in about 3 or 4 weeks. So we have to put together a lot of information and costs on that. So she wanted to update you on that, and we're also looking at a couple additional grants for the implementation of that planning grant to do the actual work and construction on the project. So it's very exciting and it's progressing very well. And that's my update.
Pines, Mark,
on
for folks who don't know the Kennet area, the Pines is a large estate, a Quaker estate that was on the Underground Railroad. And it's kind of right between Longwood Gardens and the township of Kennet, where Exelon was. So it's as you go into town. So it's just beautifully placed on Route 1 as a gateway place as well. So beautiful. That's a great, a good update. So working
And I
back.
know, I might know too that Kirk's very involved in this project. Obviously, the Kennet Underground Railroad with Crystal Crampton and Karen Marshall was there too at the meeting. So
Mhm.
it's all getting put together, and
Also Lynn
see.
Sinclair from the Heritage Center.
Lynn hasn't, well, Lynn's been involved in the separate project. I know this gets confusing for me too, but the separate project we're working on is the tour app for overall Chester County, and Lynn Sinclair has been involved in that. That's kind of separate from the Gateway Center that we're working on.
Great. Got it. Anything else for today? Enough ideas to keep it rolling? You're doing great. And it's so good to see this rolling along. It is. If people have individual questions, you're welcome to stay on the line. And as I said, we'll send the information out, the generic handout, the notes that are going to go on the whiteboard, and then the link to the whiteboard. All right. And we'll just keep zooming in. And every other month, we do the zoom ins at the last Friday of the month, and then the third Friday of the month we doing resource development. So this is more of a sharing of what's going on or what you're planning. The week prior, the third week we do is about fundraising help and marketing help and tips and things like that and resources. So more of a training and sharing. All right. Keep up everything you're doing. Be safe. Enjoy the weather while you got it, and spooky Halloween. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything you're
Thanks so
doing.
much.